Well, you don't want to make her happy or what?
We're recording.
Yeah.
Why don't you say what you're saying? Why don't you want to get hair
All right,
transplants?
so we're back. Cutler Cast episode. We don't know what, but we have the mind in the house, and it's we're coming up to the schedule, man.
Listen. It's not the mind anymore. It's by his coach.
No.
Come on, man.
I know.
You know, most honest, analytical guy that is never biased, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think you're biased.
I think you're a little delusional. We both are a little delusional in our careers. I think
every so often, right? But speaking of that, are you gonna ever publicly say that I'm your idol?
What do you mean?
Did you idolize me? Did you finally when you beat me that one time? You know, you were like happiest guy ever. Beat your idol.
No, I don't.
No?
I just was like, damn, I beat Milos, but that didn't really account to that much. I don't think.
Look at it. He doesn't know what to say.
Hey, no. I told him I was saying, maybe I should have won that contest. What do you think? Is this a stretch? Come on, man.
He posted it yesterday.
Listen, but Milos has beat multiple Mr. Olympias.
Yeah, of course.
We all have.
How many have you beat?
I beat Ronnie, Jay, Dexter, Samir. I don't know if there's anybody else. Yeah.
No, Phil was already. Yeah, Phil.
Yeah, Phil never competed.
No. So you won 4.
Yeah.
I don't think Dorian only lost to one person ever.
We
Yeah,
were just
he lost to two.
We were just talking about our best years of bodybuilding, and you know, I feel I consider myself an early starter. So I mean, beginning training around 18, really starting pursuing bodybuilding. I toyed with weights in high school, but I feel that between 25 and 35 were like the peak years. I looked back on my career and I looked at my physique. Even though the quad stomp came when I was 37, I think that I really looked at the physique at 25. I had that round pop, and we talk a lot about the roundness of the younger, I say younger, but younger demographic of bodybuilding, right? You have that round muscle tissue, and we're seeing guys as they get older, they lose that roundness, right?
Yeah, but you started early, and this is something to consider. There's a lot of guys that don't start in their teens or early, teens, but late teens, and So you mentioned 25 to 30.
Well, maturity, right? Everyone always says maturity, right?
I've seen, up to like 40 that they can go upscale, and then they maintain 40 to 50. We mentioned this before. Albert Beckless competed into the 60s, 61 years old. Boyer Coe said it legitimately. He felt he was on until 55. Dexter.
I think Dexter, until he was about 50, his legs started.
Ben Fado, Vince Taylor, I mean, those guys. But when did they really peak? Look at Lee Haney. He retired at the age of 31, and he was kicking ass, like you said, 25. Yeah, so.
That 2016?
I think that.
Dexter, I thought that was one of his best looks ever, and he was, 46, 47?
Yeah, he won his first Olympia at 40.
But yeah. So. Like, what is Nick Walker now?
29 or 30.
It's
coming.
Day, so.
You know, we have a few guys like like Derek and Regan and Nick, and I mean, I'm going to leave out some people because I don't know the heavy background of some guys, but like these guys are at that age now where it's like, okay, you have your best ability the next probably I would say 5 years to really make an impact. And then after that, I mean, listen, like I said, I came back at 37, was arguably one of the better physiques of my career. But, that's not always the case with a lot of people. But you have, obviously Derek won Olympia at 28 or 9. I mean,
I think he's 29 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regan is 30. I mean, 30, yes. And then Samson is 36. And
I won my first
dramatically
at 33.
Improving.
I won my first at 33, right?
33.
But let me ask you this. With Samson, though, he really didn't start competing until later on.
Yeah,
so for him, he feels like the guys in their late 20s.
Yes. So the physique is developing still. I mean, even I talked to him last night. Sometimes he surprises himself that, without trying anything different, just sticking to the diet, and he's growing. You're going to see him bigger. You're going to see him bigger than Olympia in better condition. And it's like, did we plan that? No, it's just like paying the dividends every workout, every year. It's now like 3 years in a row. sticking with the diet, sticking with the training, training smart. Yeah, I'm going to mention this. You were not here. When I was coming in, somebody sent me Dorian Yates talking about with Stuart Garrington. There was a guy that came to Serbia to train with me. So he asked him, like, giant sets or heavy duty? And then, of course, Dorian said, like, what are the giant sets for? The heavy duty is the only muscle building workouts, right? So I don't do the giant sets. I do the typical training first, and then I add the giant sets. So, Dorian, you're going to be watching, probably somebody's going to take. I take your workout, exactly what you do, and then add 2-3 more exercises afterwards. After, you do the heavy duty, couple of exercises, just heavy duty style, and then you do, that's myofibril hypertrophy, and then you do sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. So it's misconception that I only do the giant sets. In late age now, myself, I don't need to build, I just need to maintain. So I don't do anything super heavy duty. Hunter here and there, he likes to go crazy, a couple of exercises, very, very heavy. But it's that misconception, okay, all out. Listen, every time when somebody goes heavy duty, it's not even a matter of if, it's a matter of when is going to happen some kind of tear, as Dorian knows, as everybody that did heavy duty knows. If you go all out, how do you say, okay, muscle, go all out, tendon, hold back, ligament,
eventually
hold back.
Go.
Yeah. I blew up my quadriceps. So we say quadriceps is muscle. No, I didn't blow up my quadriceps. My patella tendon exploded doing 10 plates each side on a hack squats. 900 pounds on the hack squats. Okay, yeah, I felt good. Yeah, let's go all out, balls to the wall.
How many plates?
10 plates.
On each side?
Yeah, flex.
That's a lot, yeah.
Flex equipment.
Yeah, and that angle.
I could probably do it.
I wouldn't be that stupid.
No, it was okay. I think that flex hack squat was one of the best ever.
You know what though? It was more angled. Like it was laying flatter than some of like the Cybex. I felt was more straight up and down.
There was some of the machines that couldn't do probably 5 plates. So relatively speaking, but flex. You see...
I might have been able to do it.
Yeah,
if Milos did it for sure, I could have done it,
Good luck. Good luck. But you know what I mean? So what is it? Okay, if it can touch just the training, what does it mean going all out? And say hardest working in the room. Like Dorian was training harder than anybody else. Really?
And people admired him for it, Milos.
No, but
every day was different for me, dude.
Yeah.
Every day.
So, but just define it to me, and no disrespect to Dorian. I love Dorian. I train with him. I hang out with him. He's brilliant by all means. But when you really say, he trained harder than anybody else. What do you mean? I train with him 1 warm-up set and then 1 all out. And what does it mean all out? You do as many reps as you can and then maybe a couple of force reps. Who doesn't do that? We all did that. And we did very many more sets than that, just that 1. Oh, but 1 is enough. If you can nail the nail in 1 hit, why keep hitting? This kind of...
Don't you feel like there's a lot of confusion, though, with training these days?
Yeah, but what I want to say, and that's really a big point that I want to say, it's nice when you're young and your tendons, the ligaments can handle it and all that stuff. It's just a matter of when it's going to give out. And so why expose yourself to risk when... Do you really need to go to the failure to create that stimulus of hypertrophy? And it's proven a million times over that you don't need to. So why expose yourself to the risk? Because if you really go, okay, I'm going to die here, right? All out. What is going to go? Muscle, tendon, and ligament. So I disagree with it. But just to clarify for everybody, I do still heavy duty something, couple of exercises of the choice. Progressive overload, you do, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6 reps, whatever. And then you go into the giant sets, so multiply different angles, grips, tempos, stances, change the variety of simulation and do it.
When you do the giant sets, is there like a certain percentage, like I'm assuming the weight goes down from what somebody would normally do because they're doing so much more.
Of course. Listen, if you are focused on the weight, you're commanding your body to lift this heavy sucker. If you reduce the weight and say you can't use anything else, like I said, if you do chest, shut off the shoulder, shut off the tricep, shut off every other muscle. It's like, okay, Light is just in this room. All the other rooms are dark. Light is that muscle that you're trying to isolate, and everything else shouldn't be involved. Like if I'm training right now and I don't want you and Jay to help me, he's a shoulder and you're a tricep. I want a chest. I'm the chest, right? So, but it takes a little bit of that self-control, isolation. Do you really squeeze with the muscle, or you just push? You know, these kind of things. And if you go all out, how can you all out isolate? You know.
See, I was more of a just push the weight.
Yeah, because everybody does it. And, you know, the old man, we do want to break the records. We want to be strong and heavy. But just in general, when I advise somebody, and, you know, I was talking to Hunter and Dana, you at older age, you don't want to risk, right? You don't want to expose yourself to the possible tear and injury. Why? So make the exercise. So how can you, okay, let's say do the biceps curls or any exercise right now. How can you try to fail as soon as possible with whatever weight? I give you the smallest, shittiest 5-pounder, 10-pounder, whatever, and tell you, fail in 10 reps. Okay, you're going to have to go much, much slower and squeeze so goddamn hard that you're going to reach that failure before whatever 10th rep. Yeah. That's the idea. Yeah.
I was always, after I had my shoulder surgery, I was scared to lift heavy because I was afraid I was going to tear something.
Yeah.
And what for? Like, I'm not, I don't get paid for training like some other, I don't have a contract. So even though I'd want to go to, even Jay and I would go train, he's like, don't lift that heavy. You're going to tear
Jay, you are known for your intensity, but you're also strong. But did you ever really push that heavy duty to see how far you can go and push?
I mean, we all have in the early stages, but you know, once your career becomes of value, I think you have to be logical when you go in the gym. And you know, I did have a mindset, and the one thing was you know, I was in places where, remember, I trained at home. You know, I built a home gym in '96 when I trained for nationals, and I stayed there till '99. I moved to California. I was, you know, I didn't choose to go to Venice a lot, so I wasn't in the who's who. And I think sometimes when you're, you know, when you want to be the guy in the gym, you know, you want to turn it up, you know, that's where I think a lot of these guys, you know, they base their training around, you know, what their influence is around them, right? So I think that you have to, you know, be, like I said, be logical in a sense where you know your ability. I remember people would come to me at a lot of these guest appearances and say to me, in order to beat Ronnie, you need to train like Ronnie. And granted, you know, I picked up some T-bar rows, which I didn't necessarily do prior to that off the floor. You know, I might have done one like on the Icarian padded version. You know, call it foo-foo, whatever. I would still put 6 plates on there or whatever, but instead I was putting 10 plates on a bar in the corner, and I'd have someone stand on it, and I was doing, you know, the things that Ronnie did in order to kind of do, and obviously increase the back size. I believe that I blew out my waist a little bit doing heavy dumbbell rows, that twisting, right? But I was always in the mindset that I knew my ability. You know, you always said this. We just started this podcast with delusional mindset, right? But I really thought, okay, I'm going to be the best in the world at this, and I envisioned it. I think Nick Walker's in the same. Yeah. Nick Walker, in reality, has no business being a top guy in the world, but I believe he will win the Mr. Olympia with limited genetics. But he's done a hell of a job overcoming those genetics with discipline, consistency, the hard work, and a lot of thought process to work around his flaws to create his presentation to be better.
You know what I want to say real quick? Even though you didn't lift the weights as heavy as Ronnie did, the weight you moved was still a lot. It was a lot more than a lot of the guys do now.
The speed is what was the catcher with me. And anyone that came and trained with me at high level or whoever would recognize that, wow, the weights that I mean, listen, I would stack out everything and use, you know, heavy, 150, 160, 180-pound dumbbells in the gym. But the speed, you know, the rest time of being under a minute a lot. So we talk about giant sets. I did like a mini version of giant sets because I feel like you roll from one thing to the next, but probably a few more angles than where I would focus on 3 sets of an exercise. But the thing is, I only did 3 sets.
Yeah.
And then I would roll to another exercise. So I was doing 7, 8, 9, 10 different exercises. So I was hitting the angles, but only 3 sets per with a certain amount of speed. So I was a dubbed down version of giant sets, in my opinion.
Yeah. So you kind of did
It was a lot of
but it's a one movement, one pattern, right? So, and I like it. And he had a 45 seconds in between and use considerably heavier weight that maybe I would use in the giant sets. So you're like not heavy duty, crazy weight, but not lighter weight. You do some moderate weight and then boom, 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 45 seconds in between. But you see here, I changed the angle and muscle fibers. You can go from upper, middle, lower, right? So you change some variable that, okay, this is exhausted. I can now switch to here. So you just give enough time.
Just a different routine.
And then sometimes I like antagonistic muscles. So you can do, biceps, triceps. Well, biceps is resting, triceps is working, and then go back. And it's pump is something that we go after, and it's really underappreciated. Pump is hypertrophic. That's that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. And I've seen it, how when you go into the bodybuilding, you read 1 to 5 reps, it's strength, 6 to 12 hypertrophy, and then this is slow twitch muscle fiber. And then I look at some of the biggest guys doing 15 reps plus and giant sets like Benaziz, Pastel, and Serge Nubret was doing lightweight and control and everything. So there is many ways to skin the cat.
Didn't make sense with the theory of like reps 1 to 5 were only for strong men, because I watch guys train with 12 reps and have hell of a body, right?
Yeah.
It's all comes down to your genetic makeup, obviously intensity. But it's like this, when I would go train back, I'm going to give you an example. Seated cable rows, okay? Hammer strength with the handles, with the pad here, 2 arms at a time, okay? Lay on a flat on an inclined dumbbell, do dumbbells like rows.
Yeah.
What's the difference between these 3 movements? And I would do those all in one. And so people would come in and train with me and be like, dude, we already did this kind of movement by doing a seated row or like whatever it was. And I'm like, just do it.
Yeah. Little changes make a difference.
Because in theory, if you think about it,
it's technically the same movement.
The handle's like this.
It's same movement pattern.
Okay.
Yes.
A dumbbell's on an incline bench.
Yeah.
And the hammer strength row like this. What are you working? It's the same position pretty much, right? You're rowing through the mid-range area.
From how many bench presses machines you have?
I was going to bring that up. So incline, flat, decline.
Yeah.
Tell me how is that really targeting only the upper chest?
I used to
only
do all
the middle
3.
chest.
It's
well,
not
Ronnie Coleman did too. But.
Yeah, it's not only, but come on. This is shoulders. This is upper. You can feel as you're moving. It's slower. It does have a difference. And then, especially if you know how to engage. I know that a lot of people push. I don't push. I contract, and my contraction is moving the barbell.
Let me ask you the least effective pressing movement. Is it an incline, decline, or flat?
I know that a lot of people hate flat. A lot of people hate flat. I love flat.
I feel the best everything. Pump. I get the best pump from flat dumbbell presses.
Dumbbell presses,
but
okay.
Is decline probably the least necessary?
Probably.
It hurt my shoulder.
Tell this to Hunter, because Hunter is
he loves decline.
He is the king of, oh my God.
You can lift more weight.
Oh, he lifts like a house. It's embarrassing. But, Dorian was talking something about decline. Yeah, he was saying it's the least I
don't know, but I mean, every gym has a decline bench.
No one. I don't ever see anyone on it anymore.
Because it's uncomfortable to get into.
Yes,
right? I used to love it though, because you can lift heavy weight.
I don't know.
Do you want to get in a decline bench right now? Lock your legs and hang kind
of
dizzy.
Hey, I tried to convince the guy not to bring the decline into the.
Really? What'd you say?
It broke. Dump it in the trash. Well, now Hunter's gonna know.
Yeah, Hunter knows. And that decline pull over, what he does, I tell you, you have to witness it to believe it. But anyway, as far as training, I was in the Colosseum gym. I had some meeting upstairs, and you were training. And then somebody came to me and said, you got to come see Jay. And then I came like for like 10 minutes, maybe. I was watching from upstairs. I don't know if you see me. And it's like, goddamn intensity. I mean, listen, so when you're in the gym.
Was I training or?
You were training,
oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you were training, and then it was like moving like a maniac, so that was very inspiring. you know, of course, to beat your idol, you have to train like your idol.
But you beat him. You did.
I mean, I was his idol.
I always said when your idols become your rivals, you know. Listen, man, I was a fan.
Yeah.
I was a fan of yours.
Are you not anymore?
No,
Past tense?
I'll be honest. I'll be honest, dude. I look at a lot of your images because you post a lot.
Yeah.
You post more than anyone in the fitness industry.
Dude, some images, bro, were very very impressive.
Yeah.
Because you had a lot of detail, right? And I felt like, you know, your condition was good, your legs were good, your midsection. How would you place in the Olympia last year? What do you think? Do you think you'd make the top 10?
I would make a top 10 for sure.
How much did you weigh at your, like, just so I get it?
At my last Olympia, when I kicked his ass,
99.
99, yeah, I was 250.
And how tall are you? Then versus now?
Yeah, I want to say
He was 5'10".
I was 5'10" and a half, but probably not. Probably like
What are you now, 5'8"?
5'8" on a good day. I don't know, but look.
How would you do? Just give me a synopsis. Of
My back was not up to par, and my arms were fake.
No. Before the fakeness.
Before the fakeness.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was very competitive. Frontal legs, I could stand next to anyone and hold my own, and it's coin toss. I think I was very good there. Front lat spread was excellent. I think the side chest was very, very competitive. Abs and thighs was my pose. Most muscular, quite impressive. I would lose in the back double biceps big time. Lat spread was so-so. I mean, I would lose that pose to just about anyone, you know. But
You'd be in the mix.
I would be in the mix for sure. I would make a top 10.
I mean,
again.
did you beat Cormier?
Twice?
Okay, but he was off, obviously, right?
You don't have to say
why
that.
why
would you have to?
Why
you put that in detail?
This is an honest podcast, man. No, was he on the money or off?
I mean, he was pretty good. I mean,
stop. Just tell me yes or no. Was he on or off?
Was Cormier ever 100%?
I'm not asking that.
So Cormier 90% was beating us at Ironman. 90%. He was at Olympia 99. He was close to 100%. But even there's no striated glutes, right? And the things that people are talking, you have to have it. No, you don't have to.
Do you think he should have beat Flex Wheeler at the 99 Olympia?
Yeah, for sure.
I thought Flex was pretty round though there.
It was round, but the width would cost him. All the front lat spread, back lat spread, back. There was more that V taper and you know. I love Flex's
He was
physique,
definitely
but Flex was narrow.
Cormier was definitely an impressive bodybuilder on stage rather than in person in clothes, right?
Yeah, on the stage he would shine. So he was never 100%, but he was saying, "I don't need to be 100." Yeah, I mean, the way he said on the Old School podcast, I know I'm going to beat these fools, me included, right? If he is like 80%. So he would
There's
never...
nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's like training with do you want to do the least to get to the road you need to get to?
Did you ever compete with this attitude, okay, you can be a little bit off and still compete?
I didn't want to be, no.
Yeah.
I never showed up on a stage like, oh, I'm going to be subpar. And
Yeah.
You know, 2000, I knew I wasn't at my best, and I was kind of burnt out for Olympia. But I wasn't like, it wasn't planned like, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know?
But I tell you this because that's going to be part of discussion for the Arnold Classic also. If you look at my physique, right, 97, 98, 99, one thing that I did in 99 is, okay, well, you want me to blow up, I'm going to blow up. And then I blow up and I place much better being bigger, sacrificing my condition a little bit, but that fullness, roundness, you know, British Grand Prix, Olympia, you know, I was more competitive looking, not the way I want it, but what they're asking. So I was accommodating my physique for the criteria, and I know where can I sacrifice to gain. They need more size, I'm going to be fuller. That's what I do with many of my clients. Okay, what is the best bet? Okay, just go there, ripped. I was in craziest condition of my life in 1994 at Olympia. I mean, that's one of those conditions that anywhere you move, there is fiber, skin super tight, like got striations everywhere, dry as a bone. Hell yeah, 14th. Okay, I go to European Grand Prix Tour. Okay, eat up, fill up, insulin up, you know, shit like this. I was beating Porter Cutrelli in every show. 3 shows. He was top 5. Okay, I was not there. And then the punchline, I think I mentioned this, sorry to bother you with it, but Joe Weider, a father of bodybuilding, when he saw me at the photo shoot, he said, Milos, why didn't you look like that at Olympia? You would be top 6. And I was completely blown up, you know, like when you eat and you just filled up, far away from being super dry. And I was literally speaking, no way. He's just, and he said, come here. And then he showed me the pictures of Olympia and this Polaroid that I just took. Damn, yes, I'm drier. This guy wins every time, 100%. So these are kind of things that everybody says, just dry, Samson out, just go. Samson has that physique, that roundness, fullness, you know, amplifies his shape and then size. Imagine him being even bigger at the Olympia in a better condition. So now, how much drier you need to be? You mentioned this yourself. Do you need to sacrifice so much to get the striated glutes and then you lose the pop?
50 grams of carbs a day.
Yeah, you
3
did.
days a week, pop up to
Hold on a second.
600. 2 hours of cardio a day, 1 hour. Just I was.
That's when you place.
Determined.
Hold on a second. That's when you place 15th.
No,
That's
when
what- that's
I
what-
lost to you.
Yeah, no, that's
The first show, and then I went, and then I started eating and backed off the cardio for a week for the Arnold. Got a little better.
That's when you beat me.
But then I came into Olympia a lot bigger in the end of the year, and I also lost heavily there. And
Okay, but the point is, were you dieting super strict for the Olympia and 50 grams of carbs?
no,
No. Okay, so you
I was also
tried that
20 pounds
before.
bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
So Chris is like, this doesn't work, you know. And lucky that I had a good set of eyes, so I had someone that
Yeah.
we didn't call coaches then.
Yeah.
It was more like he was my nutritionist. We called him, you know. Guess
Whatever
we
you
do the
wanna
same
call
thing,
it.
but we didn't have. There was no such thing as coach.
Yeah, I didn't plan to be coach or
Like
anything.
people call you coach, like, hey coach, what's going on, right?
I didn't look for this kind of job or anything. It just, when I started
happened.
competing, I was helping a couple of guys, you know, just competing with me, not start somebody. Competing against me, I was helping with the info. I never had I mean, everybody knows that. I never had a single secret. You ask me, any coach out there can confirm, any athlete can confirm. If they ask me something, I'm going to answer them. You know, there's no like, trade
So
secret.
here's a question I was asking Jay this the other night. Going into this Arnold, when is the last time 2 of the top 3 people at the previous Olympia were both in the Arnold together? Because usually the reigning Olympia champion sits out,
Okay,
except
but-
Ronnie.
Ronnie 2001, and it was Chris Cormier, right? But Chris
What
was,
place was he in 2000 at the Olympia?
Damn, I forgot. 99, he was 3rd.
There's also the year. So
Is this the year
So I
when
got-
he
so I got
pulled
s-
out?
I got second in 01.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you went to 2002 for the Arnold.
Yes. Kevin got second in 2000. Then in 03, I skipped, you know, the Olympics in 2002. And then Kevin got 5th in 03. So he was second in 02.
Okay. See, 97, the Dorian won, okay, and then he retired. But Nasser was second at Olympia, and 98. Nasser was second at Olympia. No, 3rd at Olympia, and then won on 99 Arnold Classic.
Yeah.
And Kevin was second, and Chris was 3rd. You were 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
I
like
just wonder
top
if-
5
I wonder if
lineup.
Sean and Brandon. I wonder if there was a Sean and Brandon time that.
Yeah.
Was Kevin in the 01 Olympia Arnold? Because he got second at the Olympia in 2000.
Yeah. That's 2000.
He also did in 2000.
2000 he did, because that was Danny James was 4th, Kevin, Chris, and
Chris
Foster.
Cormier got second in 2001, so Kevin didn't do it. So he sat out. So he was second, and then he sat out.
Yeah.
So would it have been back to when like Flex Wheeler and Cormier were doing the Arnolds, where they were?
Maybe because Cormier was
Because
Flex was doing every Arnold back in the day. He that was his show.
So the reason I brought this up is this is the first time I can remember in a long time where 2 of the top 3 guys, and one of them is the reigning Arnold champion, meaning Samson, but 2 guys that got in the top 3 at the Olympia are going into the Arnold. So it's a legitimate. These are the 2 next.
It's a rubber match. Yeah.
It's the first time we've had a battle at this level. Usually, like when Jay did it, the other guys that were in it, it wasn't the guy he was battling with at the Olympia. There were other people. This time, it's the 2 guys that legitimately were fighting to win the Olympia are rubber matching 5 months later.
But look at this. I mean, Jay won Arnold Classic 3 times, right? Mm-hmm. That was just as valuable as Olympia.
Of course,
I mean,
yeah.
It's Arnold Classic and Olympia. I mean, those are 2 shows. So winners are interchangeable. I mean, you could have over.
It was more lucrative financial wise when I won
Arnold
all
Classic?
those years. Yeah. Every year.
But yeah,
It was the biggest prize money in bodybuilding at that point.
It was more than the Olympia, technically.
With
everything.
I mean, why do you think that Flax did it every time and Kevin did pretty much every time? There was always a tough lineup, yeah.
But it's for me, it's like it's kind of cool going into a show where we can legitimately say the guy who wins this show is 100% the front runner at the Olympia, because you got number 2 and number 3. One of these guys that wins could actually win the Olympia this year too.
This is Olympia before Olympia. Of course, we respect the current champ, Derek Lansford is unbelievable, and he's first, favorite to repeat, obviously, but Samson and Hadi are breathing right behind his back, and they're so close. And on any given day, anything can happen. We talk about it. You mentioned that you believe that Hadi's going to come at his all-time best condition because he has to prove himself.
Kind of redeem himself.
Yeah, redeem himself. We talk about a little bit of that, trying to maybe get a little bit bigger on a smaller frame can hurt you. And when somebody is not super small-waisted and super static, it can be a little bit of a boxier structure. That can be noticed too.
So let me ask you this: let's flip it. Mm-hmm. Let's say you are coaching Hadi. Mm-hmm. How would you bring him in to go against Samson?
5 and 10 pounds more would mean nothing. Even though, let's be fair. I mentioned this because I said I made myself so much bigger in '99, and I was awarded. I was much more ripped before, and I didn't get it. Hadi was ripped 2019, 2020, 2021, and was not winning. 2022, he came bigger. We said, oh, he's not in the same condition. But, hey, guess what? He won. Okay? So that's that thing. But Hadi is big enough. He doesn't really need to, try to, like we're going to go muscle for muscle with Samson. He needs to be in that granny condition, super shredded. But it's still hashtag bodybuilding. It's still shape. It's still size that matters. If it's conditioning contest, that's what I mentioned in the last Instagram post when you said that you were better conditioned than me. It's not it's not conditioning contest, right?
So would you think Hadi would have a better chance if he's 5 pounds more in the same condition as the Olympia, or if he went back to his older ways where he might be 3 or 4 pounds less, but he's ridiculously peeled?
That's what I would think.
The peeled,
yeah,
because he's not going to out muscle Samson.
Okay, this is what basically people are talking about. Samson cannot out condition Hadi.
Nobody can.
That's how they were saying, right? And if Hadi makes that so dramatic, then he has a chance to win. He doesn't have a chance to win any other way.
Yeah, just conditioning.
Just conditioning.
Because you can't outshape him and he can't out-muscle him for sure.
Yeah, so this is how they're talking. When I talk to Samson, we are in a very good place right now. I think he's the best bodybuilder by far right now in the world, and just needs to bring the level of conditioning that is needed. As Jay was saying, you don't need to be absolutely slice and dice, bone dry. You just have to have everything enough.
So flip it now. If you were in Hadi's corner, what would you say he has to do to? He beat Samson at the Olympia. But what does he have to do?
He has to show up any one of the looks he took before. Unless Samson's that much improved, he's never beaten him, right?
So far, yeah.
So
you very well can. Sure.
This whole thing.
You very well can, Samson.
This could be, without a Derek height stature in that lineup, You know, we don't know who a potential top 3 is, right? We're assuming because you know we have so expert opinions that the top 2 are going to be Hadi and Samson just because of you know the
previous placement,
of course. But that doesn't mean who it is. But what if you put, you know, I mean, you don't have Andrew Jack there, but you put a guy, you know, and you have, you know, Hadi in the middle of, you know, 2 taller guys, right? Even Raphael, right? Let's put Raphael. What's he, 5'11"?
He's yeah.
So
yeah,
he's about the same size as
you know,
Samson.
it's a different. You know, you have a whole different outcome on stage with, you know, what the vision is of the ideal physique, right? I 100% agree. I mean, I think Samson probably is the most put together body in the IFBB at the moment, including, I believe, you know, Derek Lunsford has a lot of tools, but I still think Samson has a better package. It's just displaying that package at the best of his ability, which I feel like he's improved enough. Mm-hmm. I would hate to call this contest. I could not make a prediction. What I wanted to ask you is, you know, has your vision changed a little bit as far as, do you feel more confident as the show gets closer, or less?
No, I was confident that he's going to win Olympia last year. I really,
but
I
like
did.
Since now that you're seeing the last few weeks, I mean,
yeah, he's better than ever for sure. And we didn't plan to be bigger. I'm serious. That's how I was.
We didn't. If I was just, I would say, "Oh, Milos, don't bring him in any bigger." Right?
That was not the plan.
Chance, right?
It's not the plan. Yeah, it's he's eating the same food, you know, same meals always, and just continuing to training. But his body is responding.
Is he tired, Milos? The diet's probably right.
Yeah,
he's been on a diet a long time, bro.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he's a little bit kind of miserable, you know. That's
I know, but
you're
like,
supposed to be.
You as a coach, and like you, I did X amount of shows a year, and you know, when you're a big dude, like I mentally, I know he probably and physically needs like, I need to need some time down, you know.
Okay, I want him to hear this from you also. Close to the contest, couple of weeks out, were you sometimes in the gym so goddamn exhausted that you don't think you can even lift again?
Yeah, I felt that way, but I also got to the point where it's like I didn't care. Like I was like, man, I just want to get back to some normalcy of living, you know? I don't want to say I didn't care about the outcome, but there were days I didn't care about the outcome. Because remember,
just wanted it over.
I just love to train.
Yeah.
And when you can't train and feel what you enjoy
feel the
most, like the show, I never was excited about competing. The thrill of the fans and, you know, all the supporters when you got on stage is cool, but that whole build-up, dehydration, the hype, all that stuff, I hated it because obviously the hype was around Ronnie and myself most of my career, which was difficult for me because he was always superior in that sense. But you just wanted it done. Yeah. Because now your most enjoying part of your life, which is the training, which I'll tell you still today is my most enjoyment, like it wasn't even, you couldn't even do it to the ability, right?
I would be so tired that I was looking, okay, for any exercise I don't have to stand up, at least I can sit. And then I was thinking, oh, laying down is even better. So I would do how can you do the biceps laying down? Okay, upside down, high pulley, you know, concentration curls. They do like 6 sets, left, right, left, right.
See, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm just laying down. I'm exhausted. It's hard to walk to the parking lot to the car. I mean, there were those moments. I know you feel like somebody, you know, stick you with the needle and big syringe, sucked up all the energy and strength.
You know what's funny is I would do the cardio in the morning and I'd feel to make sure my
glutes are there.
Like when you can feel like there's nothing there, and I'm like, and there were certain days that I got flat and it felt like, oh my gosh, it's like a little squishy there. And I used to like, but I could always tell like when I was in, it felt like cement, you know, when you walk and it's like.
He's guaranteed one of those guys that walks the stairs, and he walks the stairs, he checks his glutes.
Yeah. Are they still there?
Yeah, like, you know, because that's what you're worried about, you know. And so, I'm sure these guys, I mean, you train a lot of good people, but hey, how do my, because when, you know, posing in the room, do my glutes look, you know, are they?
I know. Yeah,
and we hate this, right? But that's kind of the judge on like, okay, I'm in shape. Are the glutes showing cuts, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't go up there with fat glutes, Milos.
There was the, you know, times they say, okay, Don't show me anything. Keep your t-shirt off. Just strip the pants and show me the glutes. So what the I don't need to see anything else. Just show me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, there. You're back.
No, it just all.
At least this time you didn't fall asleep like last time.
No.
Okay.
He doesn't sleep
It's
at
improvement.
night,
No, something happened. All of a sudden, I heard this weird. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Let me do this. Just
I'm
hold on. Let me
mumbling
stop
anyway.
this. Hold on. Let me finish. And I'm gonna.
Okay, he's got 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Yeah,
we're recording again. This thing's whatever.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It was just all of a sudden it sounded like everything was bubbly. It went blah, 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 blah. So I wanted to make sure we didn't mess it up.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I mean, I think
if you were in Hadi's, what would you do going against Samson?
Still, he's still Mr. Olympia, dude, right? So I mean, he knows he's got a great coach. He's just going to bring the best package possible. I don't think. I mean, listen, the Olympia.
Was the Olympia package good enough?
Yeah, I think so.
To beat Samson again?
I think so. People are so enamored by Derek's glutes and stuff like that, and like Milos says, you try to get those glutes to next level. It sometimes going to sacrifice
the
other
thing
areas,
that you said that no one else is talking about is when Derek and Hadi were there, Samson was the odd guy.
Yeah.
So he's either going to win or get third for the most part. But now it's just a big guy versus a small guy. Short guy, I should say, not small. Yeah. So now that having that third person there that's similar height isn't an advantage. So now it's just a bigger guy versus a shorter guy. But like you said, unless Raphael gets brought in there, who's about the same height as Samson, now Hadi's the odd guy out.
Yeah, and then Marcelo is over 6 foot.
Yeah.
Over 6, yeah.
And James is what, 5'9"?
5'11", he said.
Oh, okay, so there's a good amount of tall guys in here. So this could be a disadvantage for Hadi. Or it could be advantage. He just...
I mean, Hadi stands out ever since he went from 212 into Vancouver Open and then Olympia. Yeah, he is impressive. Any which way you look at it, he is super impressive. Going into the show now, even if you ask the judges what they think I mean, they're going to have to overanalyze, 2-3 rounds, pose by pose. This is how it's going to be. It's not like a cakewalk. Oh, yeah, this guy wins for sure. There's no contest. That people are funny when they say, oh, if somebody plays first and second and third was not even in a combination. What are you talking about? You get
third year in the
competition. But he was actually by points. Some judges gave him first, second place in the prejudging, and that was so close. Okay, and then he's going to go, and at the finals, I guess they say it's still contest between these two. And then everybody got to third place to Samson. At the prejudging, Samson was not clearly third. Somebody had him higher. If you have him higher, you have him higher over who? Derek or Hadi, or interchangeable, right? So there is a definite contest. I know that all the Hadi fans believe that he's untouchable. He is in danger. I mean, we are going there to try to beat him.
He could easily have 3 or 4 Olympias right now. Hadi. He could.
Possibly. Nobody would complain.
Yeah,
I would not complain.
No, I wouldn't either. It's gonna be a battle.
Yeah, but speaking of that, okay, Big Ramy was 2 times Mr. Olympia, and he went to the Arnold Classic and placed 5th. So it's like, oh, Mr. Olympia is guaranteed to beat. No, it's not. We've seen it last year.
We all thought,
And
we haven't seen Hadi outside of what, 4th place ever on a major stage.
On the professional stage,
like a major stage, because I'm just thinking even the smaller shows he either got first, second. I mean, he went into San Marino and did he get second? He beat Brandon Curry.
Yeah, losing just to Cedric. Yeah.
I mean, and Brandon won.
That's how good he is. Look, when Hadi was going to Vancouver, there was Jan Valier and Nathan Diasha, and at that time they were super good, right?
Nathan was
nobody considered that he can squeeze by them. And he, deservingly won.
I think people started really paying attention after the Korea show when he got second, but he was still a 212er. But it was very controversial second.
Listen, he was 198 at the amateur show in Dubai, and when he won next day, he competed at the Cheru Classic and placed second to Rolly Winkler, 198, and looked crazy. Yeah, crazy.
So what I did was I got some since look, and I don't want to disrespect anybody to say no one else has a chance, because there's obviously outside of Hadi and Samson, every other guy in this show could place third, or could, who knows? Any one of these guys could beat him. I'm just saying we're going to do this because these two just were top 3 at the Olympia.
Yeah, okay.
That's the only reason.
That's not my idea. That's his idea.
Yeah, I'm doing this because it's the talk of the show is we have 2 of the top 3 guys. Yeah. So what I did was I just went and got some of the footage from the last time they competed next to each other, just so you guys could, analyze Hadi and Hadi and Samson next to each other. So I'm going to go through each, and maybe we'll pause it, and I'll let you guys talk.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'll let you start, Milos.
Hadi is good in the front of biceps. I mean, he creates that illusion of a V-taper. It's very, very competitive. Okay, it's still about, for me, the shape. I like Samson's shape much more. I like Samson's legs and flow. We changed this front of biceps. You're going to see different front of biceps. We were doing a Lee Haney type, which is good, but I think that the new version does much more. And it's going to literally be pose by pose. We were analyzing, I'm going to go pose by pose and tell you where I think we needed to change after the Olympia. So front double, super competitive. You can go either way. Now, I would be biased, coach.
What would you say?
Hadi's in better condition here, so it's more impressive, right?
It's more impressive, but does the conditioning overrule the shape?
Yeah, Hadi's got a pretty good front double bicep, I feel like.
He does. He does.
His lats are lower. I mean.
Okay, we'll go on to the next pose. Go ahead, Milos. Or Jay.
Yeah, go Jay first.
This is where you can see the dominance in Samson's shape, right? Because he's got a much bigger X frame, right? Mm-hmm. But once again, I mean, it's a condition thing a little bit here, right? So. Yeah.
Okay. So everybody on the computer, cover the upper body and look at the legs, and now tell me that this is a major conditioning issue. Cover the upper body, look at the legs.
Well, I'm not looking at Derek.
No, Derek, you're not being considered here. Yeah, sorry.
Just the 2 on the left.
You're on the screen for by mistake. We should have cut him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our eyes are not on Derek. It's just like a comparison. This is what I'm talking about. When you say Samson, is he fat? Is he watery? You would assume all this, but analyze, look closely, and then you'll see. And conditioning right now is considerably improved. But
so here's a question: and if you were looking at Samson, would it help him if he sat on his abs a little bit?
Well, he's kind of in between. If you keep playing this, what does it look like?
Yeah, no, he does. He doesn't sit on his abs like some of the other, like Nick Walker. You know how he sits on his abs.
Yeah.
Do you think it would help a little bit?
Yeah, we are playing with that one too.
Okay,
yeah, we're playing with this.
I remember he's against Mr. Olympia, right?
Yeah.
So, this is where where Samson's really improved a lot.
Okay, can you just rewind to the
it's previous post? Very hard for me.
Then don't. I wanted to. Okay, people that are listening now, they can rewind on the YouTube, right? And see transition from one pose to another, just like whole body. When you see the body as it is, moving from this position, you could see how much bigger Samson is. Because a lot of times in a pose, you can make illusion of being bigger, right? Yeah. In between, it's what it is. Yeah. And that's what
we'll note that in this next
for example, Samson's legs are really dominant, especially from the side and all that stuff in size and thickness. Sometimes in a pose, you can't really tell that. Sometimes you smash the hamstring to the quads and they pop out. And this is like one pose that we're also going to change a little bit. Samson went into the old-fashioned side chest because he has a humongous chest. He has the best chest in the bodybuilding.
Yeah,
I'm telling you this.
His side leg is better.
The side leg is better.
Side leg is better.
But chest is dramatically fuller and bigger, thicker. Dramatically. But in a position like this, you can't really tell. When you do pose on your own, it's good, great pose, I love it. But when you're being compared, this is what I was doing with everybody. Look at my pictures with Ronnie, Kevin, and everybody else. I was cheat now because if I'm to the side, I'm this much, I would cheat and bring my front to be wider to create illusion. So that's what they're doing in a little bit. So you're going to fill upstairs and create that illusion. Samson's chest, not comparable. I mean, they're way thicker. There is like 5 pounds of muscle more there.
So when you guys look at this pose, analyze, obviously not Derek, but Samson, Hadi.
I give it to Samson all day myself. They say, oh, but you see this one line there. Yeah. Yeah, there's there. That's the line that shows. So are we looking for the line in the side chest? No,
yeah, you're biased, so.
I'm biased.
See, now, this is what you're talking about, the transitions.
Yeah. Okay, look at the size. Okay. This is what everybody says Samson loses.
But also, Hadi, you can tell, is for closer.
Yeah, you could see the forearm covering his arm. So he's closer. I mean...
And look, that's an extra 3 inches closer, which can make a difference.
Yeah. It's very competitive. People are saying like Samson will always lose those back poses. I tell you, already at Olympia, I was watching. It's super competitive. It's right there.
In person, it is.
In person, yeah. And just overall, size.
Go ahead,
Gosh, Derek Lunsford's like out of this world in this pose, guys.
Yeah. That's
hard to look. Hard to look. I mean, this is what won him Olympia right here.
Yeah. That's the pose that won him the Olympia.
Wow.
That's the pose that put him in a really front.
Look at that.
Back double biceps of all time. I mean, really.
Impressive, right, dude? Yeah.
It's shocking how, but don't look at Derek.
I know, but I can't stop looking at it when I...
Focus where you're supposed to.
I know.
All right.
Yeah, Hadi's got that crazy back, though, dude,
He has a little bit wider.
But, this is where I feel the lighting hurts Samson a little bit in this. Like this, to me, like you can't see anything on the lower, right? It's kind of dark, right? And I'm looking, I mean, we don't judge shows by video anyway, but it's hard for me to analyze this and be...
Samson looked in better shape in person than it perceives in this.
So it's hard for me to analyze this. I can see where Hadi beats him here, but remember, I don't have a favorite on who I think is going to win this contest. So I think Samson's improved. I think Hadi, we don't know what he looks like. Obviously, I know what Samson looks like to a little bit just because you work with him. But, like, listen, I mean, what can we assume? But this lighting does nothing for Samson as far as, like, dude, you can't even see anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's going to come down to, like, we always talk about the lighting at these shows. So, is that like the Kai Green thing he just did, or
that's the outside? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's a pretty solid shot, but then Hadi's got the crazy conditioning in the midsection and all that, right?
I mean, come on. You're gonna say that that's gonna win this pose? Look at the shape, size, fullness, roundness.
That fucking pack
for me, if this is even a question, I was like, okay, then you should go to swap meat and sell vegetables. For me, that was a slam dunk. Quad stomp, yeah.
Who wins this?
I mean, Hadi's midsection is phenomenal, right?
He might have one of the best of all time.
So if you judge abs as it is, yeah. If I judge legs, it's Samson all day. And abs, you have to give it to Hadi, of course. but that intercostal serratus, Samson can top him off. And here, Hadi has that crazy striated chest in intercostals, yeah. But again, look at the muscle roundness and thickness and fullness. Shape, I think it's very easy to say that Samson would win on the shape and size. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the best poses of Hadi.
Yeah, Hadi's most muscular is ridiculous. Yeah. Like they say, Derek won from the back. Like this shot right here, if it was had the equal weight, then Hadi would win because he's the wow fact. Yeah,
yeah, but here, look at the chest. Look at the chest, isolated chest. So
Samson's
you have
crazy thick.
You have a more striated. Yeah, Samson has striations and he has I said 5 pounds, 10 pounds more muscle right there. Yeah. Okay.
You know what it is? The illusion that Hadi creates, he looks up top like he's as big and as wide as the biggest guys up there. He just holds his own in that pose.
Can you imagine what those striations look like in
person?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it.
We saw it from the front row.
Yeah, I took it.
Ridiculous. No,
actually, took a picture.
Can you
with
imagine
him.
in a like in the room before the show and no oil and whatever? How dry he is? Yeah, man.
I mean, backstage he was so impressive. Backstage, I took a picture of most muscular pose, and it was like, whoo, every fiber, right? Oh shit! Yeah, I love Hadi by all means. I think he's great. And
see, but then this pose here, he doesn't show that width like he did in the last one. And look at Samson.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the triceps. That's why I just
Samson's.
Yeah, and short biceps. You know, there are many things that you can compare and see the shape is superior and size is superior. Yeah, Hadi creates the illusion of the width. He has the wide shoulders, wide back. You know, so you say,
remember Dorian Yates wasn't impressive in this pose either.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting out of this. But so I just wanted to do that just to show the top two guys near each other.
I told you in the beginning I don't like this videotape. There was a Korean videotape that you can see much more. I wish
this one here was the one that streamed.
Yeah, because even look at Derek on this picture. Right? What do you see? Not Olympia conditioning, not Olympia body, right? It's not favorable light and video footage and 4K or 8K, whatever it's supposed to be. Yeah, but anyway, Hadi and Samson are close, very close.
They're totally different physiques.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. Nick Walker was third at Olympia, going into the Arnold Classic as a favorite. He came even more conditioned than he was at Olympia. Didn't matter. 6th place finisher at the Olympia. Samson beat him fair and square. Okay? So this is deja vu the way I see it. Yes, Hadi is higher placed at Olympia and going here, but he's going here on this stage.
They could easily flip.
Yeah. I do believe that's going to happen. Yeah, but not to discredit all the other guys. You were mentioning about Rafael Brandao, and you said at Olympia 2022, beautiful shape, great condition, right? Lacked a little bit of size. I agree with Chris Acedo. I think he could have placed a couple of places higher even at that Olympia, right? So if he is legitimately 10 pounds heavier, he said he's 15 pounds heavier, you know? And in the kind of same condition, he's going to be super dangerous because he's kind of shapely like Samson. He has a very good...
he's tall.
Tall. He has a very good separation, quads, lined up everywhere, right? Back is very good. I asked Rafa, actually it's supposed to be Hafa. I didn't even know. You know the Rafael, not Rafael. Shit. But anyway, I'll call him Rafa anyway. Back down biceps is his best pose, right? And he believes that that's when he can beat maybe Hadi and Samson.
I mean, look, he should be confident because the last time he faced Samson, he beat him.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah,
but
he's
still,
super confident.
But the confidence level, he should have it.
He's super confident. Of course, as Jay talk about Nick Walker, and you said you were delusional, but he says you create. How did you say it? Believe it into existence. That's your words. It's like, oh, wow, I never had that. I just texted with Nick Walker the other day, and I said, like, he really made me believe it. Like a couple of years ago when I talked to him, and he said he's going to win the Olympia, you know, I actually sensed it. It was not that stupid talk. It was not like, oh, yeah, I'm going to win. I'm gonna. No, you could sense it. Yeah. So he believes that, of course, 2024, he's going to win. Good luck. But it's good to believe. Rafael believes he can win. He's going to be top 3 candidate for sure. Dennis James said he wouldn't be surprised if that shape even beats Hadi. You know, is it possible? Yeah, why would not be possible, right? If I believe that Samson can beat Hadi, why not bigger Rafael can beat Hadi too? It's possible. It's not like, oh yeah, what are you talking about? I know that Hadi's fans are going to be pissed off at me. You heard me say many times, I believe that Hadi could have won 4 Olympias. I love Hadi's physique, but nobody is untouchable. No. Nobody is untouchable, and he can go any which way. Marcelo, he made a big splash on the first contest. Everybody was impressed. He's planning to come improve. That's a big stage. That's the biggest show of his life. Arnold Classic. Oh my God, if you prove yourself. So he's very competitive. There's Brazilian competition between them. Who is the best Brazilian? You know, so they're super close. Yeah. Which way is going to go? Rafael has that superior back that John De La Rosa said, you know, Marcelo cannot beat him with no backdoor biceps. Well, there is many more other poses.
You know who it seems like people are not talking about the most of this show is Akeem. And
yeah, so far he was quiet. He posted this one side chest video and it looked quite impressive. I've seen Akeem freakier before. You know, you can't judge but that one video. Of course. But there is always, okay, a reasoning why somebody doesn't post much or post very selectively, you know.
Either you're going to get smoked or you're going to smoke.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, so even if you show one picture, okay, if you show one picture, why don't you show everything? You know? You know, there is that one picture only of Moshe Ban. You've seen it with Sean Ray behind. And Moshe Ban looked in very good condition. For me, in that pose, particular pose that he never does probably, Sean made him do it. He didn't look so big.
Venice,
whatever they were, yeah. There was,
recently?
Yeah.
Sean was there, yeah.
Kind of arm looks smaller than maybe it should be for the rest of the body. God knows. It's good condition. James Hollingshead is, again, front runner. You guys saw him, you know, and you know what he can bring.
Arnold UK, he looked crazy.
He's going to be very conditioned, and it's just going to be who you're going to put him through. If it's Samson and Rafael and Marcelo, they're about the same height, so they're going to be big guys. So we're going to see how he, you know, compares to them.
Whose pictures look real good too is Antoine.
Antoine is unbelievable.
And he's another tall guy. There's a lot of tall guys in this show, way more than normal.
Antoine is such a sweetheart. I mean, it's really, you got to love him. I think he posted today that it's 1,000 days of you know, successful rehab, that he didn't touch anything. So kudos to him. He's the most lovable guy and true bodybuilder. He's so precise, to a gram, to a minute, everything. And
if he nails it, could he be in that first call out with the
for sure guys? Listen, for sure. Crazy condition. He's saying 90s condition, and he's going to be competitive. Who are we missing?
Justin
Rodriguez. Yeah. I mean, Justin was very good.
He's been third at the Arnold.
At Arnold, yeah, he's very, very good.
And top 10 at the Olympics.
If he improves in conditioning, which I hope it will, because he had several misses back to back, so he's going to be competitive.
Who's and I'm sorry for being disrespectful. Who's the top guy in this? Rumiko.
He qualified, I think, last year. He won.
The guy that's top in this.
Yeah, it's an amateur winner from last year.
I'm not familiar with him. So.
I'm not much familiar either. But we're going to see on stage, and I think it's going to be.
I'm assuming that
multiple comparisons.
I'm assuming Steve's going to
work them.
Work these guys, like, because there's only, I mean, it's a smaller lineup, but he's going to work these guys as much as they've ever been worked. So.
We all want to see that.
Of course.
We all want to see that.
I kind of like that when it's like, put these guys up there and the first one to fades loses.
You know, yeah, I have mixed feelings about that, right?
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings. Back in the day, Wayne D'Amelia, when he doesn't like you, he would put you there until you completely lose it.
And they go, oh, look.
Yeah, I got 6 out of 8 consecutive comparisons. And then I finally laugh at him. You can do this all day, you know. He just wanted to drain me. But then one time in San Francisco, 98, I was going to lose it. As soon as I walked back, I had to lay down behind everybody. It's tough. It's tough, especially if you don't expect it. But now everybody's expecting it. Ever since Arnold UK, when Nathan Diasha and Samson went head-to-head, and they kept him, okay, another round. Okay, another round. Okay, another round. I mean, that was ridiculous. And then I guess Samson started sweating, and that was deciding factor, which I actually want to mention this now that the people are listening. What sweating has to do with now penalizing the guy because he sweats? Ronnie Coleman, 98 Olympia, was sweating like he was in a sauna. And more he sweat, he just wiped it off, and he looked better and better. And at the prejudging in 98, did you watch it?
I wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, okay. He was 4th, 5th call out. He was not even in running. And more he sweated, drier he got, and crazier he became, and he eventually won. But now it's, oh, yeah, you lost because you sweat.
Yeah.
Can you control? You know, for whatever reason, sometimes you're going to start sweating. And if that happens, should they be penalized for it? I mean, Samson was devastated because in that last comparison, he started sweating. And he already heard before that he was penalized at the Arnold Classic because he sweated, so he just assumed it's going to happen. I just want to know, for a judge's standpoint, why would sweating be marked down?
You're not dry enough.
Because you can still sweat. You're 70% water. God damn, you should sweat.
You know what I'm realizing here? Just looking at like the past winners, Samson could become the first back-to-back winner since Branch Warren in 11 and 12. Because if you're looking at this, they don't see this just weekend.
Oh.
Nobody's won back-to-back since Branch Warren. And before Branch was Kai, and before that was Dexter and then Jay. So there's been a lot of one-off winners. I mean, obviously Bonnick won too, but he lost one in between to Brandon Curry. So it's been over a decade since we've had back-to-back winners. So Samson.
And only one guy won 3 times in a row.
In the history, yeah, Jay. Humble brag. You know what, though? But you can say you're the only person that's ever won a three-peat in a row at the Arnold. And if you go back, if I scroll down, you can see Flex Wheeler won back-to-back. Obviously, Dexter. And that's...
On that note, why didn't you compete 2005?
I took it off because I thought I was close to winning the Olympia, remember? And then I won the next year. I was close in 2005, though, to winning. I just was burnt out.
So 5 guys in the history have won back-to-back. So Samson is trying to become the 6th. And if he wins it, if he comes back again, he can try to...
Tap it off. Yeah, he will be. You know that he's going to...
Of course.
Hopefully he wins all the shows that he enters this year, and he's going to come back to Arnold again. You see, that's what people say. Oh, even Ronnie say, don't have him compete so much. You know, why? I mean, we competed. Ronnie, you competed more than Samson back in the day. You know, we did every show. You know, so why not? That Samson looks burned out. Tell me. I mean,
physique-wise, he doesn't. But I don't know him. Like,
yeah. Do you when you see him? Does he look burned out? Huh?
We'll see at the contest. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he did Arnold, and he did Olympia, and he did 2 European shows, right? And he's coming here fresh. He looks fresh. Of course, he's dieting. Look, that's what we're talking about.
And this will be it for
it's
the
suffering,
season, right? Will you go to Europe after the Olympia now, too?
He's doing...
UK, that's right.
UK, yeah. It's a huge contest.
I'm assuming we'll see the battle.
I would not be surprised he's going to do after the Olympia other shows as well. we didn't talk, but I already have a feeling he likes to be on the stage. That's his home. He likes to promote the sport. I mean, literally speaking, when you win, $300,000, and then you go for a $10,000 award, right? It's not really appealing. Now the prize money jumped up to like 25, right? So now it's going to be 15,000 extra reasons per show to enter everything else. There's 40,000 for a Dubai show. You know that?
Yeah, New York Pro's 25 for first, 15 for second.
Yeah.
That's good. That's great that we're the paydays
I love
are
it.
going up.
Yeah.
That's great.
Anyway.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I'd love to hear some comments below. And
but before we go, Milos, I need an official prediction. Is your guy gonna win?
Yes. I honestly believe it.
But that's you'll hear people go, Milos being biased.
So
Samson legitimately is front runner.
Milos, you're going out there for a substantial amount of time.
Yeah,
this
I'm going
year, which
Saturday.
is a rarity.
Yeah,
You're
Samson's
never there that
For
long.
you, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going for a week.
So tell me why now this is like a whole week time of you being there. Is there some trial and error to what you're trying to do?
No,
or
you
is it
just monitor
comfortability?
day by day.
Will you train consistently up until when?
Until probably Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I train even Friday.
You did?
Yeah, because I had Friday night prejudging. Yeah.
You know how?
I pumped up on.
Oh, a second.
morning.
Friday you're going in the morning, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's good to know.
You didn't train, just
that's your secret. You should have told me. I could have done that too.
then you would have beat him.
And be 4-4. They would be 4-0.
Because we had a 7:00 prejudge. On
7 p.m.
Friday, yeah,
PM,
7 o'clock. So it was like, I was sitting around all day just eating. So I got up and started moving stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people like to move around, but back in the day, a lot of people would like to rest. There was a time when they rest 7 days. They don't train. 7 days. I said,
it's like when you go on the tour, you're not training like much. You
on the tour, I was always training.
Really?
Yeah, always. Oh, yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, that was.
Well,
a
when
part.
you're going from city to city, it's really difficult, right?
Yeah, but the first thing you do as soon as you check in hotel, you pretty much
I didn't.
You arrange your meal.
Worried about foods, yeah.
You arrange your meal before you get there, and then you look for the. Of course, promoters would always have a gym for you to access right away.
Yeah, we're excited about it, though. I mean, it's next weekend. It's finally here. We look forward to spending some time with you out there. We can't.
Are you going to be there? The prejudging?
When is prejudging?
Friday.
No. Is it Friday night or Saturday morning?
Friday night.
Okay. You'll be there. I don't know if you'll go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get in Thursday.
Yeah, I get in Thursday. So we look forward to spending some time. We'd love to hear the comments below, though.
I can't take his seat.
Well, there's something else we just haven't.
Brian, yeah,
we haven't said it yet, but there's a reason.
I
so
told
let's
Brian,
tell you off
let's
camera.
Please give me a good seat.
Comments, you guys' opinions. We'd love to hear about. When is this launching?
I'm either tomorrow or Monday.
Okay, so we'll have plenty of time. So let me hear who's the sleeper of the show? That's what I want to know for our viewers and our listeners out there. Let's hear about who your sleeper is in this contest. We have our opinions, but we'll do a wrap up when it's finished and we'll see you in Columbus.
And I hope I can say I told you so.
Milos wants that thumbnail where he's like this.